Here we have Stephen Kick, CEO of Nightdive Games, and it's great to have you here to talk with us, the CEO of Nightdive. How's it going?
Good, good. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm glad to be here to talk shock.
I thought you said talk shop or
Go
talk
on.
shiznits. No, it's so awesome to have you. I'm a big fan of like a lot of the stuff that you've remastered and the games that you've worked on previously. I think I was talking about like maybe a week before we knew you were, going to be on the live stream about like Turok and Sin Gold and just a lot of the games that you guys worked on, which were a big part of my childhood, with my like Voodoo card, Voodoo 2 card,
Yeah,
VFX chip card and my like janky Celeron processor, but playing all those games back in the day, they're like the first 3D games. So it's cool that you were able to jump in and have your team work on System Shock. Congratulations on the success that you've had so far.
yeah. Thank you very much. And you could say kind of the core philosophy of Night Dive has been to go out and find those games that you and I both played as kids and be able to resurrect them so that not only we can enjoy them, but new generations can enjoy them as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about like how System Shock like came to be, this version of it?
This version of it. Okay, so Night Dive started at the beginning of 2012 with the re-release of System Shock 2, which up to that point had not seen a digital re-release of any kind. And the success of that is kind of what catapulted Night Dive into the business of going out and finding other IP and other games to resurrect.
Oh, cool.
And System Shock was just one of those games that once we had the rights to it, we knew was kind of owed a remaster or a re-release of some kind because as good as it was back in 1994, it was very obtuse. The control scheme was kind of notoriously difficult to master. 3D was still kind of on the cusp of widespread use in the industry. It was up against games like Doom, so it just didn't really have the chance to really breathe and to show what it had to offer. And so we thought it was just the perfect game to breathe new life into. And so we've completely redone the game from the ground up in Unreal Engine 4.
Oh, nice.
It started off as a Kickstarter project back in 2016, and it's grown and evolved to what we're playing now.
What were some of the things that you did to make it more accessible?
This one's going to seem fairly obvious, but even adding something as simple as mouse look
Oh,
does
okay.
wonders for it. The original didn't have that. It's kind of hard to explain, but you had to kind of click and drag the screen around to move the
Oh,
viewport. And we've since added mouse look into the original. Um, but this game is going to play very much like a contemporary first-person shooter. Um, we're going to add in tutorial tooltips to help people along the way so they understand what these implants do that you're installing now. The combat and everything is going to be familiar to anybody who's played a first-person shooter in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, this is a game that definitely benefits from a an upgrade, a modernization, and this is really beautiful in terms of how it looks, not only but gameplay too. And I was noticing that like as you get close to things, they still have this sort of pixelated. Let me go to something like this pixelated art style, which is very reminiscent. Um, of the but then as you get farther away, you have that incredible lighting and those reflections and stuff. It looks awesome.
Yeah, thank you. This art style is something that we have taken a lot of pride in because we did want to pay homage to the original in some way artistically. And one of the first things we did was actually brought on the original concept artist and main artist from the original System
oh,
Shock
that's awesome.
to re-envision all the environments, all the enemies, all the weapons, pretty much everything. And so we've not only got to see his evolution as an artist over the last 20 years, but also exactly how System Shock would look today if it were updated. So this is as true to a new realization of that as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to pick up that ammo.
Getting really sucked into this game now.
Yeah, I just kind of want to let the ambience roll through. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't mind watching. It's always a thrill to see somebody play it for the first time.
Yeah, it was so hard to play back in the day. I wasn't primarily a PC gamer. I had a Mac, but it was one of those games where you're like, because Deus Ex for me was one of my favorite games, and this is obviously kind of a precursor to that. It's one of those games that you wish you could have played more. So it's so awesome that you've done this. You've gone to this effort, and this is funny too. It's like there was no way to do something like this, with the textures that they had, where it's like, okay, enter the keypad here.
Yeah, you know what I just noticed is you're playing with a gamepad, and it might be a lot more difficult just because we haven't really implemented full controller support yet. Like, it seems like you're getting by.
Yeah. Sort of.
But when the game does come out on, PlayStation and Xbox and games that are going to use that control scheme, it's going to be a lot more
Welcome back
fluid.
to Citadel Station.
Yeah.
It feels good on the gamepad. I mean,
it does.
As of now, but I definitely understand that.
Year 2072.
Ooh. And this is the original audio, right? From
Level 2 contains
Yes, so right now all the audio logs and Shodan's audio is from the original game, and that's purely temporary.
Okay.
We figured, hey, we've got the audio, let's use that to stub in while we're developing, and then as we kind of near the end of development, we'll go ahead and re-record all this audio with professional voice actors and new lines.
Right. I was wondering that, and it is a nice touch, though. Maybe as something that an option. I don't know if you're gonna keep it, but it is fun to hear the old stuff.
I remember playing this, and those dudes creeped me the hell out.
Yeah.
It's still creepy as hell.
You may want to use a meta patch pretty soon.
Oh yeah. Okay, how do I do that?
This is where
it's it's the red one all the way to the left.
Oh, okay. This one.
Yeah.
And how do I click it? And
I wish I could tell you on the keyboard. It's you just hit 1 on the keyboard.
1. Okay, hold on. I've got a keyboard. Wait, I have to get out of this. Do I? Oh,
oh,
use.
there you go. You could use use like that. Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
There you go.
Ah.
Oh, nice. See, the gamepad is working.
Yeah, if I just knew,
Making it happen.
If I was good at it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh yeah, and I can select my gun.
So the demo is out now, which is awesome that everybody can play it, and you can wishlist it now on Steam, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's out on GOG and Steam currently.
Okay, cool. And when you release, are you going to release multi-platform simultaneously, or are you going to release PC first?
A simultaneous release is the plan, so we'll be hitting PlayStation, Xbox, and PC all at the same time. But we're still a little ways off from that, so we'll see. But that is the plan.
That makes sense. You don't have a release yet, or do you have one?
It's to be decided.
Makes sense.
When it's done. I mean, we're kind of at that stage right now where we've invested so much time.
Yeah.
Oh, you're dead.
Dead, son.
I can deal with this.
Oh, maybe.
Ah,
No.
you got deaded.
we've invested so much time and so much love and passion into this project, really, that it's going to be done when it's done. I know as cliched as that sounds, it's like this is going to be perfect when it's released, and we're not going to make any exceptions.
It totally makes sense. I mean,
Awesome.
it's like a masterpiece. I know a lot of people were waiting for the trailer, and when they saw the updated trailer yesterday, they went crazy. So that it's awesome to see that kind of love, get pushed back into something that you love,
Yeah, and a lot of that is kind of owed to just the lineage that System Shock has, which spans as far as the BioShock games, Prey, Dishonored. Pretty much any immersive sim that's come after that is owes its existence to System Shock, and there's a lot of fans waiting for this, and we know you're waiting very patiently, and we're doing our best to deliver something that's going to be memorable and that is going to be worth the wait.
Cool. Well, it was great having you on board. Thank you so much, Steven, for showing the game and talking about it. It's cool to see how the sausage is made, and for folks in the chat, to learn about it too. So, shout out. Do you have?
Thank you, guys.
How could we find more about your team and the game?
You can go to systemshock.com. That's the easiest one, and we do actually still have a backer kit open for those who still want to back the project and score some really cool swag at the same time. We've got collector's editions, t-shirts, art books, all that stuff is up for pre-order right now. And if you just kind of want to follow Nightdive Studio, you can follow us on Twitter. It's Nightdive Studio because we ran out of characters like you guys did.
Yeah, Guerrilla Collect.
Yeah.
I know how that is. So
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and everybody go try out the demo.
Yeah.
The wish list. It's gonna be dope.